The Beyond the Fame podcast welcomes our newest sponsor, Adventure Theater in Glen Echo, Maryland. Audition for the pre-professional program at Adventure Theater MTC Academy. Led by a highly qualified faculty, ATMTC Academy's pre-professional program prepares talented and committed students in grades 4 through 12 for the world of musical theater and performing arts. From singing, dancing, and acting training to preparation to go on auditions, theater kids find their home at ATMTC. Visit atmtc.org. That's atmtc.org. This month's programming is also brought to you by the historic Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Step into 1865. President Lincoln has been shot and the city is in chaos. As the newest deputy to join the ranks, the investigation is in your hands. Join Detective James McDevitt as you retrace the footsteps of the Lincoln assassination through the streets of downtown D.C. Whether you're a history buff, a true crime enthusiast, or just looking for an entertaining way to get your steps in, there's something for everyone in history on foot. For tickets, visit Fords.org. And of course, this podcast is powered year-round by our longtime sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes Rick Springfield on July 18th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top artists and entertainers of our time. Gretchen Mol stars in the heartwarming indie Horsegirls, which opens in movie theaters nationwide today. She joined me to preview the film and reflect on her career, from movies like Rounders and Manchester by the Sea to television hits like Boardwalk Empire and Toss a King. Hey, Gretchen Mol, hey, thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Fame today.
Thank you for having me.
We are talking about your new crowd-pleasing movie, Horsegirls. I was nominated for Best U.S. Narrative Feature at the Tribeca Film Fest last year, and so it's done the festival run, and now today it opens in movie theaters nationwide. So I gotta say, your opening up against your Rounders co-star Matt Damon is going to be in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. So last time Nolan did his movie, what was it? It turned into Barbenheimer. So what could be?
Yes.
Let's invent let's get a hashtag going. What is it?
Oh gosh.
Odyssey.
Horsey? My daughter is, 14, 15, turning 15, and she read the Odyssey this past year in school, and she was taught, her English teacher was Mr. Hoddesy.
Really? There it is.
Hoddesy and Odyssey.
Go see the double bill, Hoddesy. It's the Barbenheimer of 2026, folks.
I think it works.
Challenge your Rounders co-star Matt Damon or head-to-head, something.
All right, Matt Damon. I think Horsegirls. Well,
yeah,
I don't even know.
Something about, Matt Damon.
Right, you know what? If you can't see Horsegirls, go see The Odyssey.
Yeah.
If Horsegirls is sold out, go see The Odyssey.
Yeah, because we both know that you were really the star of Rounders,
Yeah.
So Horsegirls first, right?
I mean, it was Joe's story in Rounders.
He was just off his Oscar for Good Will Hunting.
In fact,
but really, it's your movie. Go see them both.
And Joe didn't even have a last name. I remember saying, Joe needs a last name. Okay. Yeah. If we do Rounders 2, I want Joe needs a last name.
And the first name's the most basic name ever, Joe.
So. I know. 2 letters. 2 letters. That's all she got.
And we're tangenting. But anyway, go see them together. It's like Barbenheimer. It's going to be Horsesy Odyssey. Horsesy.
Big weekend. Yes.
Big weekend. Saddle up for both. All right. Well, that opening with just fun and games there. But I know. Let's get into the actual premise of the movie. You and I know what it's about, but our listeners might not have heard about it yet or seen the trailer yet. So why don't you just hit them with the quick premise of who Sandy is and her daughter Margarita.
Well, the story really is about Margarita, who's this young neurodivergent woman, and her mother she's a single mom, and it's really Margarita's coming of age, and it really is her perspective of this world. And, her mother's facing an uncertain diagnosis, and so her mother is concerned about her sort of being able to be independent in the world, which is kind of every parent's concern. And so it's a very universal story. It also involves hobby horsing. So Margarita's character finds kind of acceptance and love for life on this hobby horse. And so it's a fascinating kind of exploration of that.
Yeah. And
And
well, real quick, when you say hobby horse, do you mean like the stick horse? Everyone can imagine like a
yeah,
kid
I mean
riding a
the
stick horse.
old-fashioned like stick with a,
Yeah.
puppet head
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating. It's I think they're trying to make it an Olympic sport. I mean, but when you watch it, it's people like with the stick, but basically
Yeah.
doing jumps and leaps and being the horse. You are the
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah. Hey,
You
if they
are the
can turn
horse.
Harry Potter flying brooms into Quidditch matches, like people run around on brooms, then you can compete with, with these
I
stick
mean,
horse,
I think if breakdancing is an Olympic sport, then why
right?
not hobby horsing?
Let's
Yeah.
get it in there. That's fantastic. Well, you touched on a lot of really cool things with your characters and the themes. And I'll do a deeper dive in 1 second. But without further ado, I have to tell you, you brought up the horses. I have to tell you why I'm surrounding my background with all these horse novels or children's books and toys and wild cool. My mother-in-law is obsessed with horses, and my sister-in-law. My wife not so much, but her and
So
her
they're
dad kind of
horse
go. They're
girls.
horse people.
They are.
But she actually wrote these books. She's like famous on Chincoteague Island where they do the pony swim. Actually, this month they're doing the big 101st annual Chincoteague Pony swim
Oh
down
my,
in Maryland,
that-
Virginia area.
oh,
Um,
that's amazing. What is the island?
Chincoteague Island, you should look it up.
Chincoteague.
Like you ever heard
Oh
of
my
Misty
God.
of, there was a famous book and movie Misty of Chincoteague, and
Uh-huh.
that kind of inspired this. There's this whole horse culture where they do like a big
Amazing. And what
swim.
is the swim that they do?
The swim is, let me look it up. It's July 29th through the 26th. It's like an annual week-long thing they're wild ponies. Like it's a Assateague Island.
The
It's
ponies
Chincoteague.
swim.
Yes, it's an
Okay.
Assateague Island and Chincoteague. They're like next to each other, Maryland, Virginia. And every year
Hmm.
people come out and like get up super early and watch these wild ponies swim across. And then, it's
How beautiful.
fascinating.
That's amazing. All the Chincoteague pony people come see Horse Girls. If you love
Absolute.
ponies, yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out Lois. Points with the mother-in-law. All right. Well, back to the actual movie. Let's start with Lillian Carrier, the 22-year-old autistic actress or neurodivergent actress, playing the
Hmm.
lead of this movie. Um, Brag on her a little bit. I know there used to be a time when, non-neurodivergent, Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man, or DiCaprio, Gilbert
Hmm.
Grape, or Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump. And I'm not throwing shade on them. That's how it was. Any comedy that came from those roles was because they took it so seriously. But now, are you glad that we're
Hmm.
kind of getting at a point where, we have like Peanut Butter Falcon or Horse Girls, where we have, or I guess Love on the Spectrum is a reality dating show now with actual autistic
Mm.
people. Like are you glad that we're kind of at a place where people can play themselves, you have representation?
Absolutely. I think it's important and wonderful for that community. I feel for Lillian, I mean, the discovery of her as an actor in this role is like such a gift. I mean, I don't, I think so in that regard, the fact that this is something that's become important now, if you're going to make a film like this, and then that Lillian will be considered and seen and have that opportunity to audition for this is so important, and that it doesn't just go to any actor that at the same time, I mean, actors are actors. So I'm
Yeah.
also of the, but I just think um, it's wonderful to discover Lillian in this role. And I can't
Yeah.
imagine another person who would have done it the
Yeah.
way she did it. I mean, she brings this amazing sense of humor,
Yeah.
physical comedy. Like she's so gifted in that
Yeah.
way. And she's also, she's bringing her knowledge and her experience.
Yeah.
And she's able to be objective within,
Right.
which is what actors are supposed to do, which
Yeah,
is,
that's your job. Yeah.
we're not, you're not the person, right? But you can shade it with your interior and the things that you can bring to it that are unique to you.
Right. You're
And
trying to
so
create truth in the role, and who better but her. So it's safe to say that you're calling her that she's a revelation in this movie. She's bound for big things in Hollywood.
I hope so. I think so. I think so. I mean, I can't wait to see
Yeah,
what she does next. But this role
absolutely.
for her, I mean, to see her in this particular role,
Yeah.
which is just such a beautifully written role.
Yeah.
Lauren Meyering, who wrote it and directed
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
And the actual, and that it's based on a real young woman, Marguerite Breeden. And if you met her, it's this light. She's just this
Yeah.
light, and we need more people like that in the world. And I think Lillian did such an amazing job capturing her.
Absolutely. Well, that's Lillian, and why, her career is, pun intended, off to the races. But how about your character? Obviously, it's a more serious, maybe even a trigger warning for some viewers if you've gone through some sick parents in your own life. But this is going to be your catharsis, right? So it's the mother, Sandy. Are we allowed to say what she's dealing with, or is that a spoiler, or what
I'm
does it
not
help?
sure. I mean, it says in these taglines that she's been battling an illness, right? And
Okay.
so
Yeah.
she's concerned at this stage that she's not going to be around forever. And that's
Yeah.
just a reality anyway. And
Yeah.
hopefully, that's the order of events, right? That
Yeah.
we lose our parents. And so I think she's concerned. She's always has, even when she wasn't sick, how's my young girl going to make it in the world? How's she going to be
Yeah.
okay in the world? Is she going to be able to get a job? These are the questions of
Yeah.
for all parents, whether you have a neurodivergent child or not. And then in this case, I think the stakes are higher because of their circumstances. And so it's a universal thing, though. And so that's what I
Yeah.
think is so appealing about the movie is that you see the Lillian's character really struggling with her mom because it has independence in her way. She needs
Yeah.
more. She needs her mother to like trust her and believe in
Yeah.
her. And then at the same time, Sandy, my character,
Your character. Yeah.
is concerned that can she? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think we all feel that way about our
Yeah.
children. Like, and they always do it when we're not in the room.
Yeah. Right.
As a parent, it's like your kid always does so well. You hear
Yeah.
later on that they were so polite and they handled themselves so
Yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? That's my kid?
Wait, are you
And
talking about my kid?
yeah. And all the time, it's just,
Yeah.
you just don't know how
Yeah.
it's because they're an individual. And I think
Yeah.
individuating,
Yeah.
that's what's happening between these two characters.
Wow. Well, as you're talking about that, it's a little bit of like the Coda vibe with, Marley Matlin.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
in that it's obviously deaf, child of deaf parents, but Amelia Jones, what you were saying is kind of like the mother wants the best for them, but can they go out there and,
Yes.
succeed? And then obviously they end up, pleasantly surprising them. And yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, heartwarming stuff. Very
I loved
similar, I guess.
Coda. Coda
Yeah,
was a
great.
great movie. And it kind of has a similar it evokes a similar
Yeah,
thing of hope
yeah,
and kind of surprise and belief. And I think it
yeah,
is that battle that you
yeah,
have as a parent, the parent-child thing
yeah,
of just
yeah,
sometimes being able to let go
yeah,
and trust and let them
yeah,
let them fall and know that they'll be okay. But I
yeah,
think as a parent, it's just every single part of you doesn't want to see them get hurt, get
yeah,
battered. The world is a terrible, mean place, and
yeah,
so she's
yeah,
just doing it to protect her. And um, yeah, but it's a very kind of as
yeah.
much as it's got like a sadness and bittersweet quality, the movie has this hope to me that is
Yeah.
just so beautiful because of the connections between the characters.
That's why it's a crowd pleaser. Well, there we go. We gave listeners like three different ways to get Horse Girls trending. We got the Odyssey crossover, Barbenheimer. We got the Shinkatig Pony crowd over here locally in Maryland, Virginia, DC, and then we got maybe
Yeah.
fans of Coda and the coming of age story. So there's three ins, folks. There's no reason not to go see it. Not to mention you'll just enjoy it. Crowd pleaser.
Just go. Yeah.
All right.
Take a
Well,
chance.
you said it was real quick. You said it was based on a real life, young woman. Where did she grow up? What's the story with the real girl?
Well, they're on the East Coast, and so Lauren Meyering, who directed and wrote it, her dear friend is also a producer on this, and it's her
Okay.
story, and
Yeah.
it's her sister and her mother, and I mean, obviously they fictionalized it in that
Right.
in our story, she's a single mom to one child, and so
Okay.
there's really no other support systems, but the character that Lillian plays, Marguerite, is a real young lady, and she's
Oh wow.
just just an amazing young woman. And, and I remember when Lauren sent me the materials for this film, she sent me, her everything she put together and the script. And then there was this video at the end, and it
Yeah.
was just Marguerite. And she's like, and finally, this is the kind of who the character is.
Yeah.
And that was what got me was this is the kind of human being that we need more of in the world. This kind of person that's just open and and does says what they think and
Yeah.
just like no holds barred and positive, optimistic, and it's just um it's infectious.
It's contagious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, why can't we all be like that? The world would be a better
We
place.
can't.
Come on, everyone see this and be
I
like
don't
Margaret.
know. I would like to be, but
I know, I know.
damn it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to. We've hit the movie pretty hard, and we'll circle back to it, obviously. But I'd love to remind our listeners a bit of your story. Like, were you a horse person, growing up in Connecticut in the early '70s, or what was your thing? I guess movies was your thing, right? You were an usher at the Angelica Film Center in New York. Your brother went to NYU. What was so growing up, was it movies you loved, or what was your thing, if not horses?
I loved, singing
Oh,
and
cool.
no, I was not a horse girl. I
Okay.
felt, and there were those, I knew a couple girls that just
Yeah.
loved horses and read
Yeah.
all the horse books. And I remember
Yeah.
it was kind of
Yeah.
I equate it to, seeing my son, he went through a sort of Egyptian pyramid king tut phase and
Oh, okay.
Star Wars phase. Like there were all
Yeah.
those kinds of phases
Yeah.
and some girls like went through their Bee Gees phase or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't a phase person like
No
that.
face. Yeah. No.
I remember witnessing it, but I didn't quite get that. But I
You
just,
wanted to be a singer. Your voice was hoarse from singing. That's the best I can do.
there you go. Wow. No, I just, yeah, I did. From an early age,
Yeah.
I liked performing and I would kind of try to find those opportunities, which were few and far between in my
Yeah.
little town, but
Yeah.
I took dance classes. I was just drawn to it from a
Yeah.
pretty early age. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Nice. And
why
so you're in Connecticut. What's the town again? What little
a
town was
small
it?
town called Deep River, Connecticut.
Deep River, Connecticut. All right, but
Yeah.
all obviously not too far from New York because you make your way down there. I guess so your high school is like a conservatory, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in the actual New York City, right? And then from there you're kind of doing the whole New England, like what, summer stock acting theater
Hmm.
in Vermont, right? So
Yeah.
how did you decide to actually go from just enjoying performing as a kid? We're talking hobby horses, hobby singing. How
Mhm.
did you decide to like make it your career?
I think I always seriously thought I wanted to do, I think as soon as there was an awareness that you could have a career, I thought that's what I wanted to do. And it
Right.
was just because I didn't have any other ideas. I mean,
Yeah.
I just loved it. And I remember seeing this girl a couple years older than me singing. And I was like, wow, I want to
Yeah.
do that. Like if I could,
Yeah.
like that to me was magic. And but it wasn't like as a kid I was taking trips to the city. We weren't that close to it. So I didn't really go down and see. I remember the first show I saw was Cats. And I
Ah,
think I
okay.
was like 12 years old. And that wasn't exactly, I don't know. It was just my brother was making Super 8. My brother loved film,
Yeah.
so he was
Okay.
making Super 8. He got a Super 8 camera and was
Nice.
making movies. So I was in those. So it was just
Oh, you
kind of,
starred in your brother's movies, like
I
his
did.
like his like thesis projects, or you mean even growing up, like you
No,
you.
no, I mean like when he was like we were 12 and 10, like to
Oh, nice.
early age, like
Yeah.
making, horror movies in our backyard and inviting the neighborhood kids over and he'd make fake blood and I'd have to be,
You were like the
be
scream queen,
I
last
was
girl
the scream
standing of
queen.
his.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was.
I love that. I
I
love
had
that.
my scream
Yeah.
down. There were
Nice.
like he'd ask me to do things to the point where I'd be grudgingly kind of be part
Yeah.
of the movie,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know. I was
That's
busy
funny.
with other things.
You were busy, yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah.
eventually you became that person who was, just in these little horror movies, became the quote unquote it girl of the 90s according to Vanity Fair, with your Hollywood big screen roles. I know we don't have that much time to go, film by film, so I'm going to find ways to group them together. So the
Okay.
it girl of the 90s, I'll package your 90s together. We've already mentioned Rounders. You've worked with let's do it this way. You've worked with some like major directors. Like I think you started with Spike Lee on Girl 6. You did Mike Newell's Donnie Brasco, where you were I guess you were Michael Madsen's girlfriend in that. And then also
Mm.
even Woody Allen, I know there's all the controversy now, but back then Woody, celebrity and Sweet and Low Down. So what did you
Back
learn from
then.
any of those directors? Those are big ones.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that was my dream was just always to try to work with good directors and good
Yeah.
writing and other good actors. And
Yeah.
so from New York City, I was kind of able to find those projects. Mary Harron on Betty Page. In the beginning, like those are the things that then set the trajectory.
Right.
And so I just had some kind of sense. And a lot of it was because I worked at the Angelica Film Center and I
Yeah.
saw like that was such an eye opener for me to see,
Yeah.
David Lynch films and Wim Wenders and all of these amazing
Nice.
filmmakers. And so it the awareness of that kind of storytelling and what that was, that's what I wanted to do. And so at where I had
Yeah.
thought growing up, oh,
Yeah.
I thought I wanted to do musical theater, and
Yeah.
then that
Yeah.
quickly sort of
It's hard
evaporated.
not to get bit by the bug when you're watching, Paris, Texas, and Blue Velvet. And I mean, come
Oh,
on,
I
like it's just
know.
you became a
Yes.
cinephile in the '80s and early '90s with these films.
Yes. I
So
mean,
yeah,
those movies were just
yeah,
incredible. And
amazing,
amazing. It was such an amazing, fruitful time.
absolutely,
And it was just so cool. Like you'd
yeah,
never seen anything like it.
no,
And I don't know. So yeah, so that was,
yeah,
I stayed in New York
yeah,
to kind of
nice,
try like working with people like Abel and,
yeah,
um, did what I could to
yeah,
get on those movies, even though the
yeah,
parts weren't always like
yeah,
great roles. It was
right,
just sort of building something and sort of
yeah,
being, I was
yeah.
just so excited that it was
Yeah.
happening.
So that was It Girl of the '90s, but real quick, I do want to mention in the 2000s, in this new millennium of ours, you got to work with James Mangold in the remake of 3:10 to Yuma. You
Mhm.
played Lucas Hedges' mom in Manchester by the Sea. So what'd you learn from Kenneth Lonergan in that, or James Mangold in Yuma?
I mean, with Kenny Lonergan, I mean, that to me just, it's the writing.
Yeah,
I mean, that no one
so
writes
good.
the way Kenny writes,
Pretty sure he won for that, right? The script. I think he won an Oscar for that. Yeah,
I think so. I
yeah,
mean, all the awards, but he is just his voice in particular is just so specific and
yeah,
so
yeah,
beautifully rendered always. And so for me, I think I'd always known that how important that was. But I think in
yeah,
the case of being on that
yeah,
set in Manchester by the Sea, and when I finally saw that movie, and my
yeah.
dad had just passed away, and I just,
Ah,
I remember just, it was like a half an hour of just
ah,
grief.
just
And
bawling.
that's
Yeah.
what a great movie can
Hmm.
do.
Yeah.
It just can put you in touch with whatever's inside you. And
Yeah.
it's just, I loved working on that so much.
Yeah.
And he was also funny. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just, I loved when I mean, it was a small scene that I had, and it was with Matthew Broderick, and we were at the dinner table with Lucas Hedges, and you're finally meeting this mom after a
Yeah.
bunch of years have gone by. And it's
Yeah.
like, who can this woman possibly be that is so awful?
Right.
And
Right.
that, like, you're gonna be like, no, don't go with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
how do you, and and I don't know. It just, Kenny would just say a couple things about a relative that he knew,
Wow.
or like,
Yeah.
that kind of, and it was just,
Yeah.
that's to me like
Yeah.
great directing.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to, it was just like,
So he just tweaked it with one little note, and then Casey Affleck goes to win the Oscar, or
oh, I
Michelle
get it.
Williams,
It's
or
like,
everybody
oh,
does
yes, of
amazing
course.
performances in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, I know that person. And the same thing you feel though from
Yeah.
Kenny is that he
Yeah.
loves them.
Yeah.
He loves them
Yeah.
flaws and all. And
Yeah.
that's, I think,
Yeah.
the difference is
Yeah.
you never feel
Yeah.
like observationally that kind of
Right.
judgment,
Absolutely.
you know?
Well, and ties into Horse Girls to bring it around because
Yeah.
Lucas Hedges' mom, and now you're the mom here, and grief and all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Before we
Themes of
go,
life, baby.
say again.
Themes of
The
life.
themes of life, the ups and downs. Real quick before we go, I know a lot of our listeners will know you from TV. So, what was your favorite role? Was it ABC's Life on Mars, Boardwalk Empire on HBO, or even I guess Paramount Plus viewers know you from Tulsa King? Like, what would it be for you?
Well, I just did Rap Tulsa King, which was a lot of fun. My sweet spot is Boardwalk Empire because it was
Nice.
5 years of playing one character, Jillian, who was such a
Yeah.
challenge for
Yeah.
me. And again, like back to the writing was just
Yeah.
so good and
Well, that was
strong.
Terrence Winter, came off of Sopranos.
Yeah,
Boardwalk
and
Empire.
Terry
Yeah.
wrote Tulsa King this season that I'm
Well, oh,
on.
yeah. Perfect. Exactly.
So that
Yeah.
was fun because it was like going back to your people,
Nice.
that
I
like
love it.
know you. And then there's all these great actors like Vincent Piazza, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
crossover from Boardwalk to Tulsa. So it was super
Crazy
fun.
stuff. All
Yeah.
right. I know we're up against the clock. Final seconds. I have to point. I've talked about a lot of the horses. My daughter, she turned 8 months old yesterday. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
kind of a tie-in. You made False Positive on Hulu, which was a horror story with Pierce
Oh,
Brosnan of
yeah.
IVF. You were the creepy, cheerful nurse, right? So
Yes.
that's a horror story.
Oh my
Ours
God.
is a positive story. That's the best tie-in I got on Hulu. Check it out.
Oh,
Ours, my wife got uterine cancer. Did emerg. She's doing okay now. She's like 3 months in,
okay.
getting followed up,
Oh, wow. I'm
got good
sorry.
scans. But did an emergency egg retrieval in the last, like at Johns Hopkins before the hysterectomy. We matched with a surrogate. And our miracle daughter, Ada, is
Oh
now
my
8 months old.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my
And I know
God.
you're a mom of how many?
Congratulations.
Two, I guess. Two?
Two,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry that it's seems
She's
like
still going strong now. She's doing good now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
It's a
like
happy
very
story.
stressful.
It's a
Yeah,
happy story. But
but
yeah,
the
so I
eight
kind of in my
months.
spare time when I'm not doing entertainment and teaching film classes and stuff, I help other IPs, intended parents, become parents. So I'll leave with that. Do you know of any good uplifting stories that I can share with them? I know you didn't do IVF, but any family members do it, or when you were
Oh
making
gosh, I
making false
know.
positive, any
Yeah, don't watch
yeah. Don't
False
watch it.
Positive.
Well, no, that's a
No,
reminder that it's important to do your research ahead of
do
time.
your research. Yeah, get a good doctor.
Yeah.
Um, so many people. I know
Yeah.
so many people who have
Yeah.
had amazing stories.
Yeah.
I don't want to, expose
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
anyone's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
personal
But in
story
general,
here.
in general,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
in general, I just think, there's just all so many ways to do it. And
yeah.
so, um, I just, if you want that baby, you gotta
Yeah.
sometimes work a little bit. I mean, even
Yeah.
in my own case,
Mhm.
it wasn't easy. It took some time, took some
Yeah.
tries, and
Yeah.
you always wonder if it's gonna work out. It's a miracle. That's why it's a miracle.
Absolutely. It's a
Yeah.
miracle of science and faith and whatever you believe in. It's just crazy that that it's possible. And maybe one day she'll grow up to be a horse girl, riding riding a little
Maybe she
hobby horse. If it's
will.
up to my mother-in-law has anything to say, if she will. Hey, thank you. You've been so generous with your time. Shout out to your husband Todd. Thank him for Paranormal Activity too. Appreciate it.
Oh, I will.
And give him a little shout out. You know, the husband's
Right.
going through all this parenting too.
Yes,
But
yes.
everybody, check out Horse Girls. I guess it's in theaters. It's
It's
not
in
streaming, right? It's
Friday.
hitting theaters
It's
on
hitting
Friday.
theaters the
Yeah,
17th,
yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
and it'll kind of gradually trickle out, hopefully to a theater near you.
It'll just gradually gallop out to the.
It'll gallop. It
There you
will
go.
pant, or yeah, many of them.
Enter, yeah, whatever it is.
Canter?
My wife would know
Yeah.
all the terms, but all right. Thank you so much. Go
Trot.
see it with the
Okay.
Odyssey, the double bill, Horse Girls and Odyssey, Horsesy, whatever it is.
Yes.
Take that, Matt Damon.
Odyssey. Odyssey.
Take that, Matt Damon. See ya. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
You too. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.